Where will the next Trump-Kim summit take place? Right now, both leaders want to meet, but they can't even agree on a location. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. This is happening right now. On March 14, 2026, Donald Trump told the South Korean Prime Minister he could meet Kim Jong Un as early as that month. 7 days later, Kim rejected the invitation. The White House was off the table. To understand what's happening, we need to look at the past. 3 summits: Singapore, Hanoi, Panmunjom. In 2018, Singapore, the first ever meeting between a sitting US president and a North Korean leader. Why Singapore? Simple, neutral ground. What was the result? North Korea promised to work toward denuclearization. Nothing was verified. Both sides claimed victory. But in reality, nothing changed. Then came Hanoi in 2019. Expectations were higher, but the summit collapsed. North Korea demanded sanctions relief. The United States refused. Trump walked away. No deal, no agreement, nothing. Later that year, Panmunjom, one tweet from Trump. Hours later, the meeting happened. Kim showed up. Trump stepped into North Korea, the first sitting US president to do so. It was historic. And then silence for 5 years. But today, things are different. Kim Jong Un is no longer desperate. North Korea has strengthened its ties with Russia, gaining military cooperation, economic support, and political backing. Experts call it a quasi-alliance. And for Kim, that means one thing: options. His ideology has changed too. In 2023, North Korea redefined South Korea, not a brother country, an enemy. Reunification is no longer the goal. There is only one objective now: to be recognized as a nuclear state. Kim said it himself. If the United States abandons its unrealistic obsession with denuclearization and accepts reality, and if it truly seeks peaceful coexistence, there is every reason for us to sit down together. The message is clear. This is not about denuclearization anymore. So now the question is simple. Where can they actually meet? 5 possibilities. First, Beijing, the most obvious option. China has leverage over both sides. Xi Jinping played broker, but there's a problem. A summit in Beijing means meeting on China's terms. For Washington, that's a serious issue. Next, Mongolia, underrated, neutral, diplomatic ties with both sides. And most importantly, one of the few destinations Kim can realistically reach. In many ways, this is Singapore all over again. Then Russia, Vladivostok, almost impossible. North Korean troops are involved in the Ukraine war. A summit there, politically toxic. Now the DMZ, still very rare. Kim can walk across. Trump has already done it. Fast, simple. But there's a catch. South Korea. Any meeting there requires Seoul's cooperation. And right now, that's not guaranteed. Finally, Pyongyang. Unlikely, but not impossible. For Trump, historic. For Kim, a propaganda victory. If Trump wants the moment that defines history, this becomes real. But here's what most people miss. The location matters, but it's not the real problem. The real question is this: what do they actually agree on? In 2018 and 2019, the summits didn't fail because of location. They failed because there was no deal, no framework, nothing. And in 2026, it's even harder. North Korea is closer than ever to being a nuclear power. Its ties with Russia are stronger. And structurally, it has no reason to give anything up. So here's the bottom line. A summit will likely happen. But the real issue is not where, it's whether there is anything to agree on. Without that, any meeting becomes just another historic photo, nothing more. This channel covers the Korean Peninsula with facts, not propaganda. Subscribe and don't miss the next one. In the next video, we'll break down what North Korea actually wants and why denuclearization may already be off the table. See you there. Thank you.